Travis Browne is not the best heavyweight in the UFC or in EA Sports UFC. He doesn't claim to be. He doesn't even claim to be the fastest or the best conditioned fighter. But what Travis Browne lacks in speed and conditioning, he makes up for with his height and raw power. In EA Sports UFC, this is not a guy you want to be caught with low stamina against. With that height and reach, he can lunge across the cage with strikes, and it's only gonna take one to put you to sleep. Watch your stamina, buddy. Junior Dos Santos in the hands of a very good player is extremely lethal. In EA Sports UFC, he has the range, he has the endurance, he has the speed. And with that speed, range, and endurance comes an unbelievable amount of brain-shattering power. He has the most powerful and devastating right hand in all of EA Sports UFC. And just like Travis Browne, this is not a guy you want to make mistakes against. You have to watch your stamina, because if you get caught with low stamina, Junior Cigano Dos Santos will definitely put you to sleep. You didn't think I'd forget about the ladies, did you? Liz Carmouche, Uriah Faber's twin sister. Apart from Ronda Rousey, no other female fighter in EA Sports UFC has the type of ground control that she has. This is why I love using Liz Carmouche. Her striking is not the best. She's definitely not the most fluid on the feet. But when the fight hits the ground, she's an absolute monster. And getting her off you against a competent player is close to impossible. So when you run into Liz Carmouche in EA Sports UFC against a very good player, my advice to you is, keep it on the feet. I don't know what it is about Tim Kennedy, but for some reason, this fighter just clicks with me. He doesn't have the best stamina or endurance in his division. He doesn't have the fastest hands. He doesn't even really have the range of fluidity that dominates the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. But Tim Kennedy just works for me. When I'm using Tim Kennedy, I'm moving forward. I'm in your face. I'm throwing bombs at you, blasting you with leg kicks. And when I have you against the cage, watch out. Because even the great Jon Jones will not be able to withstand the power of Iron Tim Kennedy. Conor McGregor is the epitome of boxing in EA Sports UFC. He is proof that overall stats in EA Sports UFC does not accurately depict who the best fighters are. Conor McGregor is a 90 rated fighter, but what he lacks in ratings he makes up for with his range, speed, and fighter abilities that makes him a death rock machine. Answering, which deals increased damage from parry counters. Heavy-handed, which deals increased damage from fists and elbows. And fluidity, which gives him the ability to perform consecutive strikes at a reduced stamina cost. What this means is that if you're in there with Conor McGregor, keep your hands up or you will get knocked out cold. Words cannot describe how much I love using Clay Guida in EA Sports UFC. It's not about his speed, it's not about his power, it's not even about his conditioning. It's all about his toughness. If you want to brawl in EA Sports UFC, Clay Guida is your guy. He's exceptional when it comes to very important aspects of fighting. Taking a beating and giving a beating. In the hands of a good player, he can take a beating for days, and he can survive countless rocks and knockdowns thanks to his incredible chin rating of 74, which is the highest in the featherweight division. No other fighter in that division can take a beating like Clay Guida. That plus the fact that he has a few abilities like desperate measures and unstoppable force, which helps him recover from rocks, and you have a fun, durable, gritty, and tough fighter. And because of this, he comes in at number 5 in my top 10 favorite fighters list. Anthony Showtime Pettis. If you love kickboxing, if you enjoy striking, then you love Anthony Pettis. Where do I even begin with this guy? Do I talk about the fact that apart from fighters like Bruce Lee, Conor McGregor, and Jose Aldo, who are not even in his weight class, Anthony Pettis is the overall fastest fighter in his division? Or do I talk about the fact that he has the highest kick rating in his division? How about the fact that he has some nasty abilities that makes his kicks even more powerful, like vicious kicks, which increases damage from kicks and knees, and answering, which increases damage from parry counters? How about the fact that he has the highest movement rating in his division as well? Oh, and let's not forget the fact that you do not want to get caught by one of his flashy off-the-cage bazookas. My goodness, he is just phenomenal in EA Sports UFC, and in the hands of a player that knows what he's doing, you better get the fight to the ground or the beating you're gonna take is gonna be very long and painful. TJ Dillashaw. He shocked the world when he defeated Renan Barão, proving himself to be the Renan Barão killer. And in EA Sports UFC, he is still the Renan Barão killer. He has incredible conditioning, very good movement, amazing defense, lightning fast strikes. But what stands out with TJ Dillashaw for me personally, and the reason why he comes in at number 3 on my list, is because of his ground control. His 68 rating on the ground is the highest in his division, and it also translates in the fight. When I'm using TJ Dillashaw and I get the fight to the ground, I feel unstoppable. He just sticks to you like glue, and his ground and pound, oh, incredible and powerful. This fighter was designed to put a beat down on Renan Barão players. When you get those Renan Barão users to the ground and you mount them, it's over. They won't know what hit them. So overall, TJ Dillashaw is a complete fighter in EA Sports UFC. He has everything you could possibly need, whether it's endurance, speed, power, range, or ground control. He is all around amazing and definitely my 3rd favorite fighter to use in EA Sports UFC. When EA Sports UFC first came out, I was a striker, but right now I'm a grappler. And in my world, Uriah Faber is a dream come true. He has everything I could possibly need when it comes to grappling and fighting like a complete mixed martial artist. With Uriah Faber, it doesn't matter where the fight goes, whether it's on the feet, in the clinch, on the ground, a submission battle. He is a fighter that you can go into battle with and be confident that you have every weapon you could possibly need to be successful. His endurance and conditioning is outstanding, on par with the likes of Demetrius Johnson, who's a flyweight. With his ground stats at 97, coupled with his fighter abilities like crushing presence, which slows down your opponent's ability to regenerate stamina on the ground, infinite core, which reduces the stamina drain for posturing on the ground, and workhorse, which reduces the stamina cost for transitions, denials, and submissions, what you have in front of you is a monster on the ground. And when you get fighters down, they just simply don't get up. And this is why he comes in at number 2 on my list. When talking about complete fighters, fighters that excel in every aspect of mixed martial arts, Gilbert Melendez stands out. When I think about Gilbert Melendez, I think about the power of Junior Dos Santos and the ground game of TJ Dillashaw. I think about the toughness of Clay Guida and the endurance of Uriah Faber. When I'm using Gilbert Melendez, there's only one direction that I'm moving, and that is forward. And there is only one objective: run through my opponent as fast as I can. It doesn't matter if the fight is on the feet. It doesn't matter if the fight is in the clinch. It doesn't matter if the fight goes to the ground. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-round fight that requires incredible endurance and toughness. It doesn't matter where the fight goes, because with Gilbert Melendez, you have every weapon you could possibly need. His abilities makes him a death rock machine like Conor McGregor. He has heavy-handed, which increases damage for fists and elbows. He has opportunist, which means that you don't lose stamina for hitting your opponent when they're hurt. He has relentless assault, which gives you a small amount of stamina when you hit your opponent. And then he has vengeful, which means that if you hurt this guy, watch out, because strikes you land when you are hurt deals more damage. He is basically Clay Guida on steroids, and that is why when I'm using Gilbert Melendez, only a handful of fighters can stop me. And that puts him at number 1 on my list of top 10 favorite EA Sports UFC fighters.